Have you ever noticed that your mood seems to change with the weather? Maybe it's a rainy, gloomy day and you feel a little down. Or maybe it's the middle of winter and everything just feels heavier somehow. And then the sun comes out and suddenly you feel like yourself again. What if the problem wasn't you? What if it was just the weather? Hi, I'm Scarlett Classic, and welcome to Classic Advice, a mental health podcast offering guidance for resilient souls, anchoring calm amidst the chaos. I've noticed this pattern in my own life where I get affected by the weather. And this spring and the start of summer has been particularly wet, like really, really wet. Lots of rain, and we're supposed to get even more this weekend. And winter, generally the end of winter is when it hits me the most. I feel down. But the days are shorter where I live in the winter, and it's cold. Sometimes really cold. So cold that you can't spend more than, an hour or so outside going for a walk. For a long time, I didn't notice this pattern, and I assumed that it was just me, that it was my maybe personality or just the way that I was. Maybe I wasn't doing enough, self-care, or I was maybe slipping back into a depressive mood, that I needed to, quote unquote, fix something about myself. And then I started paying attention to the weather. And when the weather changes, so does my mood. So I thought I would bring it up on here in case you were like that too. Because this awareness changes everything. And that's why I talk about self-awareness a lot on here. Because the more we are aware about ourselves and how we work, then we can come up with solutions on how we're going to, deal with the thing. That is one of the most powerful things we can do for our mental health, is recognizing these patterns about ourselves, because not every bad day means that we're, struggling with some mental health issue. Not every low mood means that we're failing. Maybe we're tired. Maybe we're under a significant amount of stress, or maybe we've been under a lot of stress for a really long time and now it's finally starting to catch up with us. Or maybe we are just responding to the environment. The moment I realized that the gloomy weather was affecting me, I felt this kind of relief and almost weight lifted off, because I realized because I realized it wasn't me that was broken. I wasn't falling apart. I was reacting in a very human way to less sunlight and more time inside. Sunlight plays such a major role in regulating our mood and regulating our sleep and our energy levels, our circadian rhythm. When we get that sunshine in the morning, it tells our body it's time to wake up. When we see the sun setting, it tells our body, okay, we're winding down. It's going to be bedtime soon. The only problem with that is because of where I live, it changes all year round. Right now I wake up and the sun is already up. And when I go to bed, the sun is still up. And in the winter, it sets really early, like in the late afternoon, and then it rises really late in the morning. So it's not consistent all year round. But I can be consistent in recognizing that when the weather changes, it will affect me as well. Sunlight also affects serotonin, which is associated with mood. someone that I know that has struggles with depression, she bought this little sunlight lamp because we have so little sunshine in the wintertime. She just sits in it, under it, in the wintertime when the sun is nowhere to be found. And it has helped elevate her mood. That's why seasonal depression is a thing. Because during those winter months, the sun is not around as much. So we feel a little bit less energetic or maybe a little less optimistic during those really long stretches of gloomy weather. And the spring that we're having, we've had a lot of gloomy weather, even though the sun is up. The other thing is we don't necessarily need to believe every single feeling that we're having. Every single thought that comes into our head doesn't need to be taken as absolute truth. That's why awareness of this is so important, because when we're feeling low, our minds will often, create these stories of something is wrong with you, you're not enough or you're failing at something, but we don't have to believe every single thought that pops into our head. Instead, we can ask, well, am I stressed right now? Did I get enough sleep last night? Have I been stuck inside all day? Did some plans that I had that I was really excited about get canceled? Or has the weather been particularly gloomy or dark lately? Those are all things that if we tune into can give us shed a lot of light onto why we're feeling the way that we're feeling. Have you noticed your moods changing with the seasons or changing with the weather outside? Do you feel different on sunny days versus gloomy days? And gloomy days can be fine too. We had some rain days last week and I sat and read my book and it was great. And I recognized that it was gloomy, that I'm probably going to feel a little bit less energetic. So I did something that was low energy, but that I still really, really enjoyed. So the next time you're feeling a little bit off, I would encourage you to take a look outside. And you might discover that nothing is wrong with you at all. You're not broken. It's just raining. This self-awareness, it won't change the weather, but it can change how we respond to it. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Advice, guidance for resilient souls. May you stay anchored in what steadies you, rise resilient through what challenges you, and carry calm into whatever comes next. Take care. Love ya. Bye.